Welcome back for another review. And if I would tell you that this movie stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Tom Holland, Shannon, and Nicholas Hoult, you'd probably be thinking that I'm talking about a superhero movie. But actually no, this is a movie that actually came out over a year ago. It's finally being released into worldwide release. And I'm talking about the current war.
Every time that I look in the mirror.
Now this is the story of how Thomas Edison tries to be the first person who wants to give electricity on a broader, grander stage for everyone. And Michael Shannon's character, George Westinghouse, is trying to beat him to the punch, saying that, hey, I know how to do it, I can do it better, and I can make it more efficient, and I can do it cheaper than Edison. And basically the story is just them going back and forth trying to disprove each other. Edison is trying to get rid of Westinghouse because he's saying that he stole his ideas and that his version of electricity is too dangerous, it's going to kill people. On the other hand, Westinghouse is trying to tell Edison that you're being too conservative, that you need to open up some. And more or less, that's just how it is. It's back and forth. This is a period piece. It takes place between 1888 and I believe it ends at 1931 with the Chicago's World's Fair, where Westinghouse got to do the impossible. And yeah, this is a period piece. It has really good set designs. I thought the cinematography was really well for what they were trying to do here. It's a very well as far as production style goes, it's very well done. There are some interesting takes on the movie. As when I went into this, I was expecting something a little bit more like that awful movie by Nolan, The Prestige, where it was mostly about Tesla and Edison. In this movie, Tesla's hardly in the movie. He is kind of important, but he's not as important as Michael Shannon's character. Tesla's played by Nicholas Hoult, who you remember from the X-Men movies. Tom Holland in this movie as Edison's secretary, he's just like a sidekick, just there to kind of motivate Edison at times to do certain actions, but like there's not much depth to him. And other than really Edison's character and Michael Shannon's character, there's none of the characters have a lot of depth. Like, we get glimpses of what's going on with Tesla, but it really doesn't matter in the overall story until you get to the end. And this is a typical inspired by a true story or based on a true story, where at the end they'll show you a picture of the person and let you know what happened to them throughout their life. I thought the acting was fine. I wish Cumberbatch and Shannon had more scenes together, because they only had one real scene together, and that was at the very end, and I really liked the dynamic between the two. Most of the times it's going back and forth between the two and what they're trying to plan out. And that's one of the faults of the movie. Unless you're really into this type of period piece, there's not a lot happening. It's just lots of discussions about, oh, this person did this person did that. I think this is going to happen, I think that's going to happen. There's a lot of that. Nicholas Hoult is barely used in the movie. That's another bad thing, and it can get kind of dry. If you're a history person, you're probably going to like this a lot more than I did. I did enjoy the acting, but at the same time, there were times where I was just like, can something happen, or something interesting happen? Like, there's this whole subplot with the death penalty, or with the first electric chair going on, and it kind of doesn't do anything. Like, it's there in the background, but instead of making some type of comment on it, it's just like, oh, the electric chair, so and so happened, and that's pretty much it. Then there were these weird. This movie is only an hour and 40 minutes long, and it felt like they stretched it out with like the death penalty thing that really ended up meaning nothing to the plot. There's this whole thing that I guess is supposed to show that Westinghouse was intelligent with flashbacks of him in the Civil War. I mean, it did end pretty funny, but once again, it's something that wasn't needed in the movie. There's this whole story arc at the very beginning with Edison and his wife, and when you see where it goes, it once again doesn't really affect the plot of what's going on. It's just that Edison's being too conservative, and Westinghouse is prepared to go beyond and wants to push the technology. So I think history buffs are going to enjoy it more. I certainly did learn a couple things that I didn't know about this time period and what was going on, or at least it makes me want to go back and look into the history books to see how much of it is accurate. I thought it was fine. I would give it a 6.8. If you're a history buff, I would definitely suggest it for you. If you're someone who likes a little bit more action in their movie, this is not going to be for you. It is well acted. It has some characters who you know from the superhero movies, so that's kind of fun to see them all together not doing a superhero movie. But yeah, that's my thoughts for the current war. Did you see it? Do you plan on seeing it? If you do, let me know, and until the next movie review, bye.
For the laugh and sing, for the tears.